Hello, welcome back to 3 ENET Plus Listening MOOC. Improve your listening skills through practice with your instructor, Professor Ghania Wahmish from University of Iran 2. The second course is entitled Listening Comprehension Skills. This part focuses mainly on bottom-up and top-down listening strategies. If you make listening and observation your occupation, you will gain much more than you can by talk. Robert Baden-Powell. Upon completion of this course, you will be able to understand the process of listening comprehension, recognize the differences between top-down and bottom-up listening strategies, comprehend how to use the two types of strategies, and to apprehend how to use prior knowledge in listening for different purposes. Reading and listening are both receptive skills. Let's see the lines of demarcation between reading and listening to draw conclusions. Reading requires the ability to recognize and decode written symbols, whereas listening requires the ability to recognize and interpret the sounds of spoken language. Reading is more solitary activity, while listening is often a more interactive and social activity. Reading allows for more control over the pace of the activity, but listening may require keeping up with the pace of the speaker. Reading may be easier to go back and reread sections as needed. Listening, on the other hand, may be more difficult to go back and re-listen to sections. Reading may be more conducive to reflection and deeper understanding of the material, while listening may be more conducive to building relationships and understanding social cues. The conclusion that we can draw from these differences is that these differences highlight the fact that reading and listening are distinct skills that require different approaches and strategies to be successful. Let's see other differences. Reading allows the reader to easily refer back to a previous material, while listening requires the listener to stay focused and engaged. Reading is more visual, a more visual experience, whereas listening is a more auditory experience. Reading is typically a more passive activity, while listening is typically a more active activity that is determined by interaction and interactivity. Reading requires the reader to have a certain level of literacy, whereas listening can be affected by different factors such as the listener's attention span, hearing ability, and the speaker's speaking style and delivery. These are factors that influence considerably the skills that you have acquired as a listener. So we come up at the end of these lines of demarcations to the conclusion that understanding the differences between the two skills can help individuals to develop their overall communication abilities. Also, other differences that distinguish the two skills. Listening requires the listener to process information quickly and make sense of it in real time. Reading provides a permanent record of the information, while listening provides opportunities for asking questions and seeking clarification, for example. Reading is often more conducive to critical thinking and reflection. Listening, on the other hand, is often more conducive to social interaction and building relationships and interrelationships. Reading is more likely to be affected by factors such as lighting, font size, and distractions in the environment, while listening can be affected by factors such as background noise, the speaker's accent, and the listener's own biases and assumptions. Well, by considering these additional differences between reading and listening skills, it becomes clear that each skill has its own strengths and weaknesses that we can work on in order to be good readers or good listeners. Thank you for your attention. See you in the upcoming video.